Thanks for joining another DirectConnect. Today I'm joined by a special guest, Amy Stokes-Waters, joining us all the way from England. So, hi Amy, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So glad we could make this work out. I know I've been following you on social media for a few years now, and lots of really interesting content there. One of the pieces I really appreciate is the inclusive nature that you created in social media around the security space. Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey of how you came from wherever you were to where you're at in the cyberspace, the security space, and then really into a thought leader, I think is one of the places I would really put you, really driving the conversation. So,
Yeah, sure. So I started out in, so my background is my degrees in English and French, so nothing to do with cyber at all. I think everyone thought I was going to be a teacher. I don't know why, because I guess I am a teacher now because I do cyber awareness training. But yeah, at the time I was like, no, not a chance. And then, yeah, kind of started out as a project manager. Was really, really rubbish at that because you have to actually like finish things and be like close with attention to detail and all that kind of thing. And that is not my bag. Moved into sales. And then started selling cybersecurity solutions and kind of got really interested in that space. And then, yes, decided to set up a business at some point in that journey. And yeah, here I am running a business that goes to America and Africa, and we're talking to people in the Middle East and Australia, and so yeah, global business from an English and French degree. So that's there we go.
I love that. I started with a general studies degree, which is my parents will tell you is still can't figure out what I want to do when I grow up. So between the military and all kinds of other things, I managed to find my way into security. So I love that concept. I think so many people feel like they have to go work at an IT help desk for a while and then take all these cybersecurity training and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and hours and hours and hours on all this training. And really, I think some of the strongest people they just figured it out as they went. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of those areas where you can kind of jump in with different viewpoints, and I think that actually really helps because if everyone's gone through and had an IT degree, then everyone's going to view it as exactly the same thing. Whereas I've come from a sales and marketing background, and I'm used to talking to people all the time, and there's the kind of the whole psychology element that comes with sales and marketing, which is actually really, really beneficial when it comes to looking at security awareness training.
Yeah, I think honestly, that's one of the things with the venture you're on now with the cyber escape room that honestly really jumps out to me because you think through the escape room thing, which I'll go ahead and be honest here, I've never done one, but my teenager really wants to, so I think we'll probably do that for his birthday next month. But what I understand of that is the strengths is that you have diversity, you have different ways of looking at things. If you go in there with everybody doing groupthink, you're going to get stuck in that room. So for somebody who every once in a while gets a little bit of that imposter syndrome in the security space, I really love that concept of let's do a cyber escape room. Let's have a challenge that we all have to work through together because every incident I've seen in security, nobody knows what they're doing, especially for the first couple hours.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to figure it out, sitting around the room going, oh my gosh, what's going on? More about that. Like, how'd you come up with that concept of a cyber escape room? I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, so it was entirely circumstantial. There was no premeditated. I think we should do something new. We had a friend who wanted to do something cool with one of his teams, and he'd done an escape room. I think he'd done a cyber escape room with another company, but it wasn't brilliant. So he went, "Could you do this, but make it a bit better?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And really enjoyed making. I really enjoyed making the puzzles, and I really enjoyed kind of thinking about how you can get people working together. Because what I find with a lot of security awareness training is it's done in silos, and there's none of that group work that comes into it. So when I used to work in sales, and we had a phishing assessment come through from the IT team, I'd tell the rest of the sales team, "Don't click on this because it's a phishing assessment." But I would get told off for telling them all. And I was like, but surely if it was a real phishing email, you're going to want me to tell them not to click on it. You're not going to be like, "Oh no, we're testing each of you individually." So I think a lot of security awareness training kind of doesn't instill the right behaviours. Whereas if you're doing something in a group, and like you said, you've all got different viewpoints and kind of bring in diversity of, I hate this phrase, but diversity of thought into the into the mix, then I think you're much stronger like that as a group.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I think back to some of the cyber awareness training it took, particularly in the military. That's the worst. It's so bad there are actually memes about it now. But just sit there and click through, and there's a timer making sure you don't click too fast. And I know I remember almost nothing from it. So I really love that concept of making you work through it.
Are you saying that military grade isn't what we think it means?
Oh no, that's anybody who's been in the military will tell you when you hear military grade, that means oh, stay away. That's cheapest bidder. With the cyber escape rooms, I understand. I kind of understand. I think that you send out a box and you basically put it together in the field, and you guys can come out and do a facilitated, or it's a self journey. But that's kind of my understanding at a super high level. But can you walk through like what does that look like when you sign the agreement with your company? How does
Yes.
that play out? How do you implement that?
So we've got a couple of options. Like you said, one of them is we can just send you a kit and you can run it yourself, and we'll give you all the instructions, the clues, um, the like learning outcomes. We'll tell you how to introduce it, how to wrap up on all that kind of thing. So you can kind of run it yourself. Basically, I'm telling people how to do my job, and then or alternatively, we can come on site and we can run it for you. So you usually do it in groups of 4 to 5 people. But the beauty of it is you can have loads of groups doing it all at the same time in the same room. And that's where it actually gets really fun because you've got groups trying to compete with each other then to try and get out of it fastest. Um, and then, yes, it takes about 30, between 30 to 45 minutes. We've got a couple of scenarios. I've got ideas for about 50 more scenarios, but it's just finding the bloody time to build them. Um, I've got an idea for one where there's going to be an exploding confetti cannon in the middle of it, and if you don't manage to, yeah, exactly. If you don't manage to get through it fast enough, then the confetti cannon will explode. Mostly because I really want to expense a Hoover through work, and I reckon I could get a Dyson for business purposes, obviously.
Exactly.
But yeah, that one's going to be about around operational technology because I don't think that there's much in the way of awareness training that is built specifically, if I can get my words out, for like critical national infrastructure, so power plants, water treatment plants, that kind of thing. So yeah, I want to try and build something that's aimed at those guys next.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's kind of the space that I work in is more of that infrastructure and the operational technology. And
Mm.
you're absolutely right. I think through how many of the trainings, especially when I was running it at the utility, and those guys and those folks in particular, like, no, this doesn't apply to me. I can't click on a link anyway. It's like, sure you can. We'll find a
Yeah.
way. Um, I know one of the things we actually got made fun of was when Pokemon Go was a big thing. I remember that, but we actually had to ban it in some of our areas, and people started making memes of the security team hating Pokemon, and was like, no, it really isn't that. This is a huge threat vector. Like, here's why. And once we had conversations, they understood. But for a while, we were the bad guys. We were. If you've ever had yourself turned into a Pokemon meme, then you'll understand. But
Fortunately, that hasn't happened yet in my career. There is still time, I'm sure, but no, I've
yeah,
not.
it's always fun when you're security because you're always the Department of No was what I always called ourselves, but tried not to be.
Yeah, I think we get a lot of companies think that, but if you actually um, talk to people, and I think part of that is the security team's fault because the security team do just sit there and say no. They don't go, okay, can you tell me why you want to do this thing, and then we'll work out a way for you to securely do it. Lots of the time in companies that I've worked in, it's like point blank, no, you're not doing that, and I'm like, all right, cool, I am doing it. I'm just gonna not gonna tell you about me doing it, so I'm still gonna do it anyway. So you've now got a bigger issue because I'm still gonna do it and you don't know I'm doing it, and it's totally insecure, and I'm going to sign up for loads of stuff with my corporate email because I can do. Um, so I think security teams do bring that on themselves a little bit, but I do also think there's an issue around awareness within within the wider business where they don't understand the reasons why something is dangerous or risky. Okay, but again, I think that's the security team's fault. So yeah, actually, if your security
Yeah,
team is being seen as the team of no, you probably should just work on your comms.
yeah, that was definitely something we worked through, and we actually engaged a company who was kind of one of the first ones to make awareness training fun. I used
Mm.
to say it was like South Park that was safe for work, where people actually were asking us, "Hey, when's the next episode coming out?" I'm like, "I don't know.
Oh,
I
that's
got to go back to
cool.
them because they're so new." But that was one of the things we really switched was let's rather than tell people no, let's see what are you trying to do.
Yeah.
Help me understand what you're trying to do, and we'll figure out a way to do it securely. But having the awareness, they understood to bring that forward. So making that awareness training stick and something that's engaging. I know we just did one that was a Dungeons and Dragons themed
Oh, cool.
approach. So I still don't entirely understand what they did. I've been hanging out with the guy who did it this week, and he's still trying to explain it, but he's also so excited because he just did it. I was like, this is, I really, I love that awareness training is starting to get fun instead of just the military grade click, click, click.
I think I was on a podcast about this the other day. I was like, cybersecurity. Why is it so serious? I get it. We've got to look after our organizations and we're protecting against the hackers. But why does it have to be so boring?
Yeah, especially when you go to things like DEF CON and Black Hat, those cyber people are anything but boring. That's one of the things I've learned, especially when you get three or four together.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Every single cyber conference I've been to, I've been more drunk than at any other conference, any other type of conference I've ever been to. We
I think
always
the
have.
physical security ones are close. One of the scenarios I think you had that really intrigued me was one that was there was no technology. Looked like it was a Sherlock Holmes themed one, which to me was just so exciting on so many levels. 'Cause I love that entire
I figured that
character
it would. I
and
definitely
universe.
figured that would appeal to the American market, probably more than the UK market, because I feel like you guys love that kind of stuff over there.
We
Um,
do.
Yeah, so we've built one that's entirely technology free, purely because of the fact that I'm fed up of hearing people say, "Well, I don't really work with computers, so none of this is really relevant to me." And I'm like, it kind of is though. Like the premise is that of the concepts around information security. Then let's not call it cyber security because that sounds too computer focused. Let's call it information security. Those concepts have been around forever. Like since businesses existed, information security has been a thing. So the premise of the one that we've built, the Sherlock Holmes themed one, is that the owner of a factory has received a ransom note saying, "I'm going to send the blueprints for your next invention to one of your competitors if you don't pay me £1,000." And £1,000 in 1850 was, a lot of money. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, so it teaches you about insider risk. So then the premise of it is you've got to go through it and you've got to work out like which of the four suspects that we've narrowed it down to was the person who's sent this letter. But it uses all manner of paper-based puzzles. So it's got nothing to do. There's no computers at all. It's got an origami puzzle in, which is actually a pretty cool physical representation of data encryption. Because if you fold the origami thing the wrong way, then you'll get the wrong code. But if you fold it the right way by following the algorithm, i.e., the instructions, then you'll get the right code, which then gets you into a key, which then gets you a key, which then opens a box. So I was like, aha, two-factor authentication as well, because I've had to have the code and I've got the key.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we've tried to do everything that you could imagine with a piece of paper is in there. We've got like teeny tiny code books with a magnifying glass, so you get to all play at being Sherlock Holmes by looking at like deciphering codes with this magnifying glass and all sorts of stuff like that.
I love that. I'm also a little bit afraid now. That'd be the last one to get done because I'm still I think I still owe one of my elementary school teachers some origami work that don't follow instructions well. That's probably why I'm in security, but
Yeah,
telling the
it,
people to follow my instructions.
it is really funny watching everyone because when I start that one off, I always say read the instructions. You've got to read the instructions or it will not work. And the amount of people that I see and they're doing step three before step one, and I'm like, what did I just say to you? I said read the bloody instructions.
So that's why I made that one for Americans because we don't read any instructions. We just
Literally, what I've found is no one reads them. Out of all of the people that have done that Sherlock Holmes one, so I think there's about 40 people that have gone through it now because we only finished beta testing it like a couple of weeks ago. Um, Only two people have managed to do the origami puzzle. I've had to help them all out with it because they don't read the instructions. If you follow it to the letter, it works perfectly fine. If you miss a step, it doesn't. And no, and every single person cannot read the instructions properly.
I'm a little nervous. So, but I love it.
I'll send you one. I'll send you one. You can print it out yourself and see if you can do it. And if you can do it, then yeah, we'll.
All right, challenge accepted. So yeah, I love that concept. I love making that cybersecurity, just the security awareness, just getting the people to think about security the way that security folks do. So for people who want to learn more, where can they find you?
Mostly on LinkedIn, where I am very noisy and write a lot of crap. But there's some golden nuggets of information, I'm sure, in between the crap. And then also you can find us, our website is cyberescaperoom.co. Not .co.uk and not .com, because that is what everyone thinks it is, but it's not. It's just .co. So yeah, I massively regret using that website address because no one can ever find us or spell it properly. But there we go. Cyberescaperoom.co.
I think we can relate to that. At one point, I think we were Archer Energy Solutions, maybe International. I don't even know what it was. It was really long. So. But totally understand that when you're setting up a website, you never think of those things. But
No.
and I will also say there's a whole lot more nuggets than there is crap on your LinkedIn. I will say that absolutely. So. Well, thanks for joining. Really excited to keep watching this journey, and hopefully we see that grow. And I love that concept of the cyber escape rooms, and also again just your social media presence of cybersecurity and security in general. Anybody can do it. Just go figure it out. So yeah.
Yes.
So thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you.
Your support drives us forward. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications, ensuring you never miss out on valuable insights. When it comes to safeguarding your business, Archer is your trusted partner. Explore our robust solutions at archerint.com. Get in touch with an email or phone call and fortify your company's defenses. We value your input. Share your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like us to cover, and tune in every other Wednesday for a brand new episode of Direct Connect.